16 we're up to. My name's Tristan Wyatt. I believe the world needs more great places to work, and this Think Big, Act Small in August series is happening every weekday morning from 8:45 a.m. to 9 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time. If you are here with me, please say hello in the comments. I'd love to know you're here. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know how you're feeling on a Monday morning. How am I feeling? I'm feeling a bit indifferent. I think I live in regional Victoria. We have joined much of the rest of Australia in lockdown over the weekend, and it seems like a bit of a way of life at the moment as we do our best to, I think, embrace the Stockdale paradox is what Jim Collins calls it in his research, and that is that we will get out of this. We just don't know when we're going to get out of this. Is the concept of the Stockdale paradox. So that is how I'm feeling this morning. Jeffrey's here. Hello, Jeffrey. Nice to have you with us on Monday morning. How are you feeling, Jeffrey? How's Monday at your end? What have you been doing? And hopefully you're embracing some lockdown projects, doing something like that, whatever might be going on at your end. But I hope you're doing your very best. You can find a smile somewhere, somehow would be fantastic. Now, this Think Big, Act Small in August is exactly what the title says, and that is that how do we think big, and that is to make progress, to make some improvement, to dream what could be better or what might be better in both personally and professionally, and then how can we act small, both in the moment and in the short term, which will be an act small, an act small, an act small, an act small, which helps us to build momentum and work towards that think big idea that we've got in mind. Now, Jeffrey writes, I am feeling like a juggler of time slots, otherwise known as a scheduler. Yes, rescheduling is the name of the life of many of us owners and operators of service-based businesses. Jeffrey, I understand what you're meaning there. I hope I suspect you're becoming a master of it, Jeffrey, but I hope it is able to settle down sometime in the not too distant future. Today, in our Think Big, Act Small in August conversation, I want to keep it pretty brief and I want to keep it pretty light. I want to keep it something that we can hopefully find a bit of joy, find a bit of positivity as we get on with our Monday mornings and get on with our lives and our weeks. And so the question I've got on a post for today is, what's something that you did recently that made you feel a sense of pride? How did you feel? Was there a sense of pride from something you did which was difficult, was new, it was pushing yourself in a way which made you feel, you know what, I am proud of how I acted, I behaved, how I responded to that situation. I don't think that as leaders we necessarily pat ourselves on the back enough. I don't think we necessarily take a moment to reflect on the things we did well. And we do hard things most hours and days of our lives. There's no question about that. That as owners and leaders of service-based businesses, working with other people, leading our teams, building our businesses, we've got hard work to do on a regular basis. And I don't think we take enough time to stop, to reflect, to be proud of the work that we have done. And that's what I want to do this morning. I want to simply say, what's something you feel proud of that you've done in the last little while. I can see that Carmel's here. G'day, Carmel. Welcome. Nice to have you here on a Monday morning. Morning, Tristan. All. I definitely hear the schedule shuffle. Yes, you're hearing Jeffrey's thoughts there. But I want to talk about being proud, and so just a very recent one for me, and it's topical. It's to do with this COVID lockdown situation we're all in, and that is that here in regional Victoria, where I am, we got news on Friday night that community sport was cancelled for the weekend, which is a big part of the community here in regional Victoria, and also it was a sign of what might have been coming in, at least in my view. And then 11 o'clock Saturday morning, we got news that yes, regional Victoria was heading back into a very strict lockdown, similar to Melbourne, excluding a curfew. No 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew like Melbourne has, but we've got a 5K limit radius. We've got remote learning, stay home for all but 5 reasons, like many other parts of the country. And how did I respond to that? Well, I've had varying responses to various lockdowns, but this one I did respond in the calmest I've probably been. Maybe that comes from experience, or maybe it comes from an acceptance that this is something that I cannot control, but what I can control is my response to, I can control my emotions, I can control how I adapt and respond to this information which is outside of my control. And so that's just a little one from the weekend of how I felt proud that's how I responded. Now, how about you, Jeffrey? Anything on your mind? Something you might have done recently that made you have a sense of pride of doing something tough, or doing something difficult, that you might be feeling proud of yourself on? Please feel free. You can type it in the comments. If you don't feel like typing in the comments, that's perfectly fine. Just think, reflect, and give it some thought, and give yourself a pat on the back. Or alternatively, you can always email me, tristan@tristanwhite.com.au is really great. Carmel writes, I am proud of acting on your day one advice to get a coach. Yes, Carmel, where's my applause button? I've got to find that applause button now and give you a round of applause. There it is. Carmel, well done. I'm really proud of doing that, of you. I'm really proud of you for doing that. And please, I'd love to, either in the comments and or send me an email. I'd love to know a bit more. I'd love to know what you're choosing to work on and how you're going about it, because that is really impressive stuff. Come on, I'm proud of you. Well done. We're up to day 16, and it was day 1 that I said the learning or the idea that every top performer does have a coach, whether it's a coach in business, a coach in communication, a coach in sport, a coach in music, a coach in relationships. There's so many things that you can have. Hey, Trav's here. G'day, Trav. Nice to have you here with us on a Monday morning. Think Big Act Small in August, day 16 we're up to. You've been here since early on. Trav, like we've been working through in the Culture is Everything Club recently that you're familiar with, and so I'm simply asking today for us leaders to take a moment and to be proud of ourselves, or to identify a time when we felt a sense of pride. We do hard stuff, difficult stuff on a very regular basis, and often we move on without necessarily reflecting and giving ourselves a pat on the back. And on this Monday morning, as many of us in all parts of Victoria and Australia and the world are in various lockdowns, let's just take a moment to be proud of ourselves for something that we've done recently. So, Trav, have a think about it. If you're willing, type it in the comments. If you want to send me an email, tristan@tristanwhite.com.au, that's fine. Or if you want to just have a think about it and give yourself a pat on the back in private, that is perfectly fine as well. Hey, now I want to hear what Jeffrey's got written here for us. Jeffrey writes, I'm proud to have been able to keep my head and keep going in this current environment. Jeffrey's in Melbourne. There's a return to lockdown again in Melbourne, or continuing for a few more weeks. Adapting, let me get that back on the screen. Adapting and overcoming difficulties, getting stuff done in the clinic and around the house to prepare it for sale if the need be, and buy another. This is especially the case when I'm seeing more up for lease signs in the suburb. Jeffrey, let me, sometimes I do this in fun, sometimes I do this in seriousness. Let me give you that pat on the back, that round of applause this morning, mate. That is impressive. Stay calm, stay focused, stay in control is really, really, really important. Well done, mate. I'm impressed by that. Carmel also writes, thanks for the applause. I think you're right in there. I'm meeting with someone to get better at running staff meetings. I always finish those feelings like I'm useless, so this is a big one for me. Carmel, that is big. That is big. During this week, the rest of these Think Big Act Small in August, day 17 through, must be day 20, I want to talk about fear. I want to talk about the importance of fear in our lives and how we acknowledge it, what we do with it. And you've set the scene there with your comment that I always finish those meetings off feeling useless, which is you being down on yourself and not feeling like you're doing a good job. And fear has hopefully enabled you to realize there's a problem, to be a bit scared of how it's going to work, but then to lean in and get some help from it. I love that, Carmel. So well done, and I really, really appreciate you sharing that with us. Good luck. Keep us posted. I'd love to know how it goes. I'd love to know what you learn. That'd be fantastic. Jeffrey, what else we got here? Jeffrey writes, great to be an APRA member and continue to help patients in some form. Yeah, there's some gratitude there. Trav, let's see what you wrote here. Trav, thanks for sharing, mate. Thanks for typing in. I appreciate you being here and getting involved. Proud of reaching out to support each of our team over the weekend and providing a safe space for them to vent about our current COVID situation. Trav, well done. It's easy for us to get worked up about our own situations and to think that us service-based leaders have got all the weights to carry in our world, but everyone's biggest problem is still their biggest problem, whatever their angle, age, position, all that sort of stuff. And for you to acknowledge that and have a conversation with them is awesome, mate. So well done. I'm proud of you for doing that, and I'm proud of you for sharing with us here. Alrighty, we're almost at the end. This has been Think Big, Act Small in August, day 17. I do want to ask you one other question, pose a question for you as I get out of here. And I want to know what would need to change for you to feel more pride, or take a moment to notice those moments of pride more often. Would you need to be braver? Would you need to be embracing more fear? Or would you be more, would you just simply need to take more time to stop and think and acknowledge those things, those hard things that have made you proud along the way? There's two options. One, do harder stuff more often. Two, reflect on the hard stuff you're doing more regularly, or with more of a rhythm. Either way, there might be third, fourth, five options on that, but there's just a couple to get you started. But how are you getting, how are you feeling proud? And actually, Trav, there you go. There's a third option already. Lower expectations on yourself. That is absolutely one of them. If you weren't giving yourself such a hard time all the time, Trav, then you would be able to get a sense of pride more often. I like that, Trav. I'm really impressed. That's a really powerful reflection that many of us leaders of service-based business I think we're either perfectionists or recovering perfectionists. I'm doing my best to be in the recovering perfectionist category, and I think that's an important one to be aware of. Well done, Trav. That's impressive, mate. Carmel writes, I would need to be less busy and reflect more regularly. Yeah, Carmel, that busy thing I hear from you on a pretty regular basis. Remember, we talked about saying yes to your things and saying no to other people's things. The other way around. If we don't say no often enough, when we say yes to other people's things, we're saying no to our own stuff, our own priorities, our own lives, our own businesses. It's easy to please, but we have to learn and flex those no muscles. So keep that in the back of your mind, Carmel. It's I've got no doubt you can do that more often to manage that busyness, if you will. Alrighty, Jeffrey, thanks for being here. Carmel, thanks for being here. Trav, thanks for being here. If you're watching on the replay, please comment away. I'd love to hear from you. I'd also love you to send me an email if you'd prefer. Tristan@tristanwhite.com.au. This is Think Big, Act Small in August. I'm Tristan White. I believe the world needs more great places to work. The way we can create more great places to work is to create more leaders who've got the skills, the confidence, and the support to be the best leader they can be, and to build the team they want to build, and they can empower themselves and others. Same time, same tomorrow, same time, same place. I'll see you here tomorrow. Don't forget, think big, act small. See you later.